Hi guys, this is Celia shouting out to you from Southern California, specifically Torrance, which is right next door to Redondo Beach. I'm here to show you my new koi pond. I built it last week, not using any tools. It's from Kim's Ponds in Canada, and they make it to order. So it's built like a log cabin. Over here you'll see to the left is my aquaponics farm, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, let's go look at the pond. We're entering a 10 by 20 greenhouse made from a very inexpensive frame, and I covered it with greenhouse plastic cover. Anyway, here is my this is for my lights inside my pond. So I'm trying to not use up electricity. So this is capturing the daylight energy, and then later on in the evening I take this cord, attach it to this guy here, and voila, the pond lights up. Let's look at the pond inside. Here's my fishies. They all gather up front when they think they're going to be fed. And just because they were so cute, I'm going to go ahead and feed them so you get an idea what it looks like to feed koi. They get aggressive and crazy. I have about 22 of them. They were all the size of my pinky when I first got them, and all of them were bought around the same time, and they grew differently. This is your average pond koi. They are not pedigree, so I don't have papers that came with them when I bought them, but they're still valuable when they grow. Here's the thing. When you're decide to be a koi keeper, you're actually being a water keeper. It's not a cheap hobby. In fact, I started this because I wanted to have a aquaponics farm, and most people either go with tilapia, goldfish, or koi. And I thought it'd be cool to have koi so that I could simultaneously sell koi. But it turns out that koi are very particular with their water and everything else, that they are very sensitive. They could die. If it's high ammonia levels, wrong pH levels, saltiness, KH levels, hardness of water levels, this basically you're a koi keeper. I'm a frigging scientist now. I have a microscope, so that I can also see if there's any parasites on them when they start acting weird. And when I mean acting weird, if they start flying out of the water, they're spinning, that doesn't mean they're having fun. That they're trying to take off a bug. And they don't normally do that. What they do is they just swim around. But when they start spinning, that means they've got something on them that they're trying to shake. They'll scratch their body against rocks, walls, whatever it takes, or spin in the air. And that's happened a few times, and I realized that I have to quarantine everything before I put something in the pond. So if it's a new fish, I gotta quarantine it. If it's a new plant, I've got to quarantine it and put it in a medication solution. So what happened is that I put so many things in the water to mitigate all this toxins. They outgrew their last pond, and the ammonia levels started getting really out of control. So I ended up having to put so much solution in it that turns out it's not edible if it's watering food that you eat. And I was told that by the makers of these solutions. I called them and told them I was doing an aquaponics farm, and that the fish waste water goes into these beds where they grow my plants. Aquaponics is a soilless way of farming. It uses only 10% of traditional farming of water because it recycles the water. So what happens is that the fish poops and pee, their fish waste gets pumped up by this pump that you see over there. It goes to the bed that you see over there, and to a certain level of water, it will rise up, and then there are siphons in the corner of the bed that kicks in and sucks out the water when it gets to a certain height, and then it goes back to the sub tank that's below it, and then gets pumped back into this pond right here, and the water is clean. Because what happens is the rocks that, like I said, it's soilless, so the rocks that are in the bed, they are porous, and they hold all the nutrients, the fish waste, nitrates is what it's called, and then it feeds the plants. The plants grow beautiful in half time than traditional farming. And I had a couple of beds full of great vegetables. I had tomatoes, cucumbers, herbs, lettuce, you name it. I had everything in here, and they started towering like giants. And then I had to take care of the fish by putting all sorts of water conditioners to help them survive. And then it turns out that if I'm watering my garden with that water, it's toxic and you shouldn't eat it. So newsflash, any aquaponics enthusiasts out there, they're putting conditioner to mitigate the toxins of ammonia and you know, the chlorine and nitrites. That's bad stuff. I call the makers of those products, and all of them say the same thing. If you're watering your edible plants with it, you need to get rid of those plants because they are now not edible. They're toxic. So not good. And I didn't think of that until later on, and I realized that I need to get a bigger tank because this is going on too long where I have to treat the water. Excuse me. Anyway, someone told me it's because your fish is getting big, so of course there's more waste. I'm walking to the back side of the tank. This is my 50-gallon barrel that holds water. Water has to be dechlorinated before you fill up the tank with water because chlorine and chloramine can kill fish. That's why new fish owners kill their fish, because they put water straight from the faucet and then they dump their fish in there and then they die. They cannot survive. It burns them. It burns their scales and their skin and causes them to suffocate, and they will eventually die if you put straight water from tap. You've got to condition it or let it sit out. And so you sit out, it evaporates, and then you can put the water in the fish tank. So here's the deal. Most aquaponics enthusiasts, they use one of those three fish the most, and when I chose koi, I didn't know how sensitive they were, and now it turns out that I have to take care of the koi as opposed to taking care of my aquaponics farm. Tilapia, they multiply like rabbits, and you've got to be able to sell it or get rid of it right away. So you're either eating your tilapia or selling your tilapia, and you've got to have a heater in it because they don't survive anything colder than 70 degrees. So if there's like a power outage, you've got dead fish. So I went with a safe fish that I don't need a water heater, and they survive on 30 degrees below zero just fine. So they survive any kind of weather, the koi. It's just that they're very sensitive, and you've got to take care of the water quality in order to have good koi. So here's the thing, when they grow to about 25 inches plus, they become valuable. For regular pond koi, you're looking at probably $5,000. If they're pedigree and you have paperwork where they come from, like Japan, then you could sell them for as much as $10,000 to $15,000. And now everybody's saying, oh, I should do this. If you're going to collect koi, just know this, you need to attend to the pond almost on a daily basis to keep up with the water quality, because the water quality is what's going to breed good fish, healthy fish. They don't get diseases. They, once they get sick, the water quality goes bad. That's when they get sick, and then they're more prone to have parasites. Talking about parasites, this is what I have on the side as my medicated pond. It's empty right now, but what I do is I quarantine anything I buy before putting it in. So it's always good to have a medicated quarantine pond to put new fish or vegetation and make sure that they are free of parasites. This is my filtration system. I didn't need it when I had aquaponics going on, because the aquaponics, those bed of rocks over there, worked as a filtration system. By the time the water gets back into the pond, it's clean, and then the cycle happens over again. The pond gets dirty with pond waste, then it gets sucked up by this pipe here that goes into the bed, and then the bed kicks in the siphon to suck out the water, and then it drops back down here in the waterfall, and it's clean. But when I had to take out the aquaponics farm, I had to get another filtration system going, which is this. I didn't want to keep the filtration. I could have kept the water going into the rocks and cleaning it that way, but that's going to be my food later, and I don't want any of that. Like I said, chemicals and things are toxic. So this I had to buy. It's only a couple $100. It's for 1,000 gallons, and eventually I'll have to get a bigger one, because you really should treat your pond with, if it says 1,000 gallons, then it's good for like a 500-gallon pond. Now that I got a 1,000-gallon pond, I'm going to need to get a filtration system that handles like a 1,500-gallon or 2,000-gallon pond. That's only like a couple hundred to 500, depending on what quality you get. And plants are essential to mitigating or keeping down the ammonia. It sucks it into the roots, and since it's not edible, that's good. So the more plants you have, the better it helps keep the ammonia levels down. Anyway, this is my pond. I made a makeshift shade out of tarp, and it also helps to hide that ugly bucket back there. The bucket that the waterfall is coming from is actually my worm farm. I have a worm farm that's, here it goes. That bucket is full of lava rocks, and my worms are living in there. What happens is that the pump feeds in the water from the pond, and the fish waste, they eat it up, and it goes back down into worm castings. So the worm castings is also good for plants, and that's what fed my aquaponics very well. This water goes into this, the pond water goes into this bucket, as well as it goes into the beds out there, which I've turned off. But it's a full ecosystem back here, and I'll give you updates as soon as I start planting my plants. I'll let you see what the plants look like from growing when they're tiny and how long it takes for them to grow big. Usually 3 months. And anyway, have a wonderful rest of the day. Peace out, yo.